What? Hello. We always have problems over here when we come over here with this damn PA system.
I don't think anyone was notified your family members. Maybe we'll just say
We're just going to do a moment of silence.
I don't think we should say who it was.
No, we're not going to say. I'll tell Jean that.
Is it registering it already? Hello? Hello? Yeah, the blue light's on.
Okay. Okay. Bonjour, Anine, Minugajip. I would like to welcome everybody to the meeting today. Call the meeting to order. Roll call, please. Here.
Here. Here.
Before we get started with invocation, we'll have a moment of silence for the passing of a veteran and elder this morning. So we'll do a moment of silence. Miigwech. Next, we'll have invocation with Mr. Gene Goodsky, our spiritual advisor. Meekwich Jean. Next, we'll have approval of the agenda. We do have Kim Greiner as acting executive director today, so she's filling in for Jenna Letty.
First, we'd like to move Barb Brodeen up to, before consent agenda. Second, remove John Shimek because of schedule conflicting.
Okay.
And then there's 4 additions. The first one would be the ambulance director contract. And we'll put that right after Nikki Irving.
Okay,
That's under Dan and Dan.
okay,
The next thing we'll put on is, after Pam Hughes, we'll put, Melissa Wright for, sole source, a change in a sole source contract. And then after Melissa will be Billy Mason, same thing. And then the last thing to add is, streaming of the community meeting.
oh, okay. Put that under you?
Yeah, you can put that away.
Okay, any other thing to add or delete from the agenda? If not, I'll call for a motion to approve with those changes and additions. Moved by Chief, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Dave. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried. Next, we have the meeting minutes held at Net Lake on September 24th, 2019.
Second page. It says, moved by Ray Tuloff, second by Brandon Bennett to approve the sole source request from Northland Recreation for playground equipment and servicing.
That's right after, yeah, that's right after the consent agenda.
Huh?
Yeah, I see that, yeah, I circled mine too.
Yeah, it's like, oh, so, I think we need to remove that.
Yep, we'll get that updated. You got it on yours too? Oh, you got it, Dave? Hang on, Dave's got the correct, Dave's got it in his notes, who made the motion, so hang on, we'll correct that now.
Second by Chief.
Who made the motion?
Shane.
Shane made the motion on that second page change, and it was seconded by Chief. So we'll remove Ray Toodloff and Brandon Benner. Okay? Any other corrections or additions or comments on the agenda? Now I'll call for a motion to approve with those changes.
Oh, just that, on
Oops.
page 3,
Page 3?
we were talking about the first class airfare that, it was moved by, Peter Bowley and a second by myself to rescind the motion to approve the first class airfare. I'll just have to go on record and say that I have never flown for the tribal council yet.
Oh, you want that added in there?
No, I just want to point that out.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I never flown anywhere, and if I did, I wouldn't fly first class anyway.
There, since 2016, as far as I know, there's been no council members that have flown first class.
And it paid to play.
Yeah, that's been paid by the band. Okay, all right, now do we have a motion to approve the meeting minutes with those changes?
Move.
Moved by Shane, is there a second? Seconded by Chief, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried. I don't think there's any new staff. Is there, Kim?
I don't think so. There is no new staff here
Okay.
today, is there?
Okay, we'll move on then.
Okay. First item will be Barb Brodeen, leasing.
Good morning, Barb.
First item I have is a lease modification for Pam Hughes. I would like to add her son, Jory, onto her lease, and also a life estate.
Okay, I'll call for a motion to approve the lease modification for Pamela Hughes to add Jory Hughes with the life estate. Moved by Chief, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Travis. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, silent, motion carried.
Next one I have is for Brian and Terry Anderson. I would like to add the life estate onto their lease.
Okay, motion to approve a lease modification for Brian Anderson, adding Terry Anderson and life estate.
That would be a correction, just adding the life estate.
Oh, just adding the life estate. Thank you, Barb. A correction to that request for motion to just add the life estate for Brian and Terry Anderson. Do we have a motion to approve?
Move.
Moved by Travis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dave. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried.
Next, I have a lease renewal for a recreational lease for Rocky King.
Do we have a motion to approve a renewal of recreational lease for Rocky King? Moved by David. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Travis. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried.
Next, I have a lease modification for Darrell Sue and Michael Larson to add a life estate.
Motion to approve a lease modification for Darrell and Sue Larson and Michael for addition of a life estate. Moved by Chief. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dave. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, silent, motion carried.
Next, I have a lease modification for Bruce and Chris Schuster to add a life estate.
Motion to approve a lease modification for Bruce and Chris Schuster to add a life estate. Do we have a motion to approve?
Move.
Moved by Travis. Is there a second? Second by Chief. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried. Good job, Barb.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barb.
Next, we have the consent agenda. That is for, one, approved $25,000 from the Business Loan Fund to buy more rice. This fund is no longer being used for business loans, but it is still collecting money for the business loans that are out there, the payments. So there was funding in there, and we approved $25,000 to buy more rice. The second item is approve the sole source request from Amber Zapata to wrap the buses from Big Woods Transit to use as a media for the Traditional Foods First social marketing campaign in the amount of $3,600.
Just a question or clarification for that business loan. Since we don't have that no longer available, but it's still collecting money, is that from the money coming in from the previous loans that was made?
Yes.
Okay, all right,
Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
move.
Moved by Shane, is there a second? Seconded by Chief. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Silent? Motion carried.
Next, we have Melissa Walls.
Good morning, Melissa. Welcome. Mhm.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I'm here today to update on some of the grants that I presented on, I think, in the spring was the
Mhm.
last council meeting I
Yep.
attended. So we sent in a letter to share that we did officially get funding on August 1st to continue our diabetes research, this time turning it into an intervention. So we're planning a home-based diabetes intervention program where both adults and youth will be targeted to both prevent onset in youth and then intervene for a better life for people who live with diabetes. So we've been working with the clinic. We had a meeting a couple of weeks ago with some clinic reps, and one of the things we want to do is make sure that the committee that locally oversees the research has representatives from the clinic. So historically, that's been Doris Isham, and of course she retired. And so Melissa Hawk has agreed, if approved, to
Mhm.
join as what we call a CRC member. So this is a Community Research Council. The members of the CRC that we're proposing to add are David Morrison Jr. as the coordinator, Melissa Hawk as a new member, and then continuing on as CRC members would be Doris, Muriel Deegan, Beverly Steele, Jane Villebrin, and Stan Day. So these folks have been on CRCs and working together with us since 2009. We also historically had Mike Connor, but he moved, I
Mhm.
hear, to Duluth where I am. And then unfortunately we lost Ray Villebrin and Peggy Connor. So these two additions will both fulfill adding people from the clinic and from the health arena and make sure that we've got new representation. So the reason for my trip today is really just to ask for approval for these individuals to be the CRC members for Boys Fork.
Okay. I think it's a really good program. I believe that this one is for 5 years now?
Yes. Yep.
Great.
Mhm. Yes, and we're working closely with the clinic to try to figure out a way to, if the intervention proves successful, as part of the research part of it is to evaluate it, to integrate it into the services for billing and things like that.
Wonderful. Any questions for Melissa? If not, I'll call for a motion to approve the Boys Fork Community Research Council to include David Morrison Jr., Melissa Hawk, Doris Isham, Muriel Deegan, Beverly Steele, Jane Vilburn, and Stan Day.
Move.
Moved by Shane, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Chief. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried. Congratulations to Melissa for being accepted as working with the John Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. Congratulations on that.
Good, thank you. And we have a grand opening on the 14th. So if anyone wants to come down, 9:30 a.m.
Okay,
Having some Monoman porridge and big dignitaries coming, I guess.
good. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Natalie Goodsky with the resolution for the elder serving for the Title VI grant.
Good morning, Natalie.
Morning. Morning.
I have the Title VI resolution. Which read this whole thing?
Do you want me to read it for you?
No, we can't,
What?
we can't hear her.
Oh. Hang on. The other one, Natalie. That other bigger one there, yeah.
Much better.
Good job. Go ahead, if you want. This is actually a lengthy resolution. It's like 3 pages. Why don't you, maybe describe a little bit about the resolution, and, if you can, and then just read the now therefore it be it resolved, the last page.
This is basically, letting us know what we need for our elderly survey. And the information that we need from the elders to for the survey, so that would be like, just like the daily living activities, screening, visual, hearing, and dental, memory, disability. I'm just gonna read that whole thing there.
Okay,
Okay, healthcare assess, tobacco and alcohol use, nutrition, exercise and excess weight, social support, housing, social functioning, and demographics. And what the Resource Center will provide would be like the needs assessment instruments, assisting in sampling, training of interviewers, consultation with interviewers via email or telephone, data entry, analysis, data storage, and secure server. So it just needs information about
okay,
what that is, geez.
it's okay.
Sorry. I'm gonna read the now therefore to
Okay.
be resolved. The Bois Forte Reservation Tribal Council hereby authorizes participation in the identifying our needs, a survey of elders, Native elders, social and health needs assessment. The Tribal Council grants permission to the North Dakota, Alaska, and Hawaii National Resource Centers on Native Aging to use all collected needs assessment information in,
Aggregate,
aggregate formation format for the purpose of disseminating state, regional, and national results from analysis of the data. Geez, I read this.
that's okay.
Further, be it resolved that specific information collected within the boundaries of the Bois Forte Reservation belongs to the Bois Forte Reservation and may not be released in any form to individuals, agencies, organizations without additional tribal authorization.
Good. It's nice to have a survey done of the elders and what their, what their demographics are and whatever to basically better meet the needs of the services, so,
Yeah.
good. Any questions for Natalie? If not, I'll call for a motion to approve there's two resolutions, so the other one is just authorizing us to endorse the application for funds too for the Title VI program, plus the survey. So do we have a motion to approve both resolutions for the Title VI survey and approval of the submission of the grant? Moved by Chief, is there a second?
Second.
Oops, second by Trav. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried. Good job, Natalie.
Thank you.
Okay, next we'll have Jalen Strong with a request for the use of the Birch Bark Canoe and the Spring Lake Mine Sugar Bush MOU.
Good morning, Jalen. The birch bark canoe.
So for that, we don't really need it as much anymore. We're gonna have an event on Saturday
Oh.
where, one of the faculty members from University of Minnesota Twin Cities was gonna come up and he was gonna talk about traditional, waterways and passages. And he was gonna bring up his outrigger canoe, cause he's indigenous from Guam.
Mm.
And in return for part of his class, we were gonna show
Mm.
how our birch bark canoe, was kind of made. The three that we have in the Heritage Museum, but then also we were gonna see if we could use the birch bark canoe that was just made by KBFT.
Mhm.
And then actually go down to the marina and, put them in the water and have people try them just to see what it's like. And then he ended up calling me yesterday, or on Monday, and said that he is not gonna be able to come out anymore.
Oh,
But he did have another use for it that I guess could be on your radar. I'll bring up more as I know more information. But basically, exhibit in
Oh.
Northrop Auditorium on the university campus, which is
Okay.
kind of like the performing arts building.
Mm.
And they were gonna have traditional waterways, and they were gonna see if, from right now, all I know is that they would just come up and probably take pictures of, the canoes that we have in storage. They would ask questions, maybe we can do some interviews with, people that remember maybe using birch bark canoes, and then just talking about why canoes are still important for us
Mhm.
today. And then we would get, in return, we would get exposure
Yeah.
to the broader community. I know there's a lot of enrolled members down in the cities that have actually never been up here. And so I think that would be kind of a neat way to outreach to them, just by using pictures and, if, and I think another option he said was maybe to like put it on loan there, because I know it's just kind of sitting at the tribal offices right now,
Mhm.
tribal government building. And I told him that I don't know if we would be okay with that, because that's gonna be a whole year, but that's kind of more up for you
Okay.
guys to decide, since I talked to Chaz and he said it's tribal council property technically.
Okay. Okay. For those that don't know, the KBFT did have a contract with someone to come up and make a birch bark canoe, which was very interesting. And right now, the canoe is sitting at the tribal government building, so we'll need to decide where we want to put that canoe. It's kind of right in the waiting area. So we'll have to have a discussion on that, but I think that's a really good idea for exposure, and then also to explain why we still need to use our traditional ways in our, for ricing, for example. We just got over a fantastic ricing season, and those are instrumental in our culture, so I think that's a good idea.
I do like the idea that it being used for something.
Mm.
It's sitting in the lobby down there, it just looks like it's drying out and warping out, you know what I mean? And I was looking at the little intricacies on it. You'd see where it's gaps where they weren't before. I was thinking if it was in the water every once in a while, it wouldn't be so dried out and
Mhm.
get some use out of it for
Yeah.
what it's made for.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
And then, second agenda item I had was the
Jay.
MOU.
Oh, wait, no, Jay.
They're in the process of building a cradle for it.
Okay.
For the birch bark canoe, so they can kind of put it up where not gonna be sitting
On
on
the
the
ground.
floor, because if it sits too long, it's gonna start warping.
Yep. Okay.
Can kinda
They're in the
see that
process
already.
of, getting a little cradle made for it.
Okay. Good. Go ahead, Jay.
Okay. So the second agenda item I had was a MOU with Polymat, just kind of for their second phase planning of their mine. And I don't know if you've read it, but basically it's just stipends for elder interviews, and then also tribal monitor, to monitor when they're doing like their shovel tests and whatnot in the next couple weeks.
Okay. Do you know how you're gonna go about selecting the elders for this?
So what I've been doing is I'm just kind of reaching out to the people that Bill Latati has
Worked with in the
worked with
past?
in the past, yeah. And right now, it's Gene and Hank Goodsky, and then Vern Adams.
Oh, okay.
And then for the tribal monitor, it's gonna be Summer Isham. That was kind of the all voice for email that I sent out. I was kind of looking for a tribal monitor there. Ended up going to Maryville, and she told me to reach out to Ed, and I reached out to Ed, and then Ed kind of led me towards like Summer, and Summer was able to find the time to do it.
Okay.
And I think it should be good for her, because she hasn't done it before, but she has Maryville to reach out to if she has any questions or concerns about what we need to do.
Mhm. Okay.
I
And
don't
this,
know, with
go ahead.
Polymet, once they gather this information, what are they gonna do with it? Are they, most likely, they're gonna use it for their benefit, to get this mine pushed through and do whatever they want with their mine, and then we're stuck holding the bag, and something happens, and there goes our resource in 1854 area. you know, by approving this MOU, is that signaling our approval for the mine itself, you know, it could be taken in either way, you know. Even if they did do responsible mining, you know, is that good enough? I don't know. Me, myself, I don't think so. You know, I don't know.
So I think it's a good point to bring up. And I think what it really does, this MOU kind of holds them accountable, because a lot of times when we push back, the federal government kind of comes in, it's like, just, you see like what Trump did, and he's just kind of like, oh, now we don't have as many NAGPR rights, we don't have as many rights to enforce things and make things harder for these companies to come in and do whatever they want to do. And so I think the MOU right now is kind of just for keeping them honest, so that, you know, say if they do have, that you don't have another like Highway 41 mix up or whatever in Cloquet, you know, where they burying or bringing up, you know, 41 graves or whatever it was. And for us, on our point, on our side, the sugar bush area that we're kind of more fighting for to be able to use our usufructuary rights like that, it's more just, I was just out there yesterday, and we can actually see the old structure that they used to use, and they actually have like the old sap buckets that they used to hold, and then you can kind of just see kind of where everyone was at. And the mining site is probably around a mile away from there, or maybe a couple miles away. But yeah, I think the MOU is more, for us at least, to keep them honest about what they're doing before they actually make any plans, because I think this is still going to be a kind of a multi-year planning phase yet. They still need to do another EIS, if I am correct, I guess.
The focus of this MOU is with regards to the Spring Mine Lake Sugarbush area, where it's been designated as a cultural site. And so that's why they want to get the elders there. Basically, the oral interviews, I feel, are something, you know, we know that our people do our history through speaking, oral interviews, talking. And there's not a lot of recorded interviews or whatever, but it's the importance of the Spring Mine Lake Sugarbush area, where we need to know about that, how it was used traditionally. And I think with Jean and Wiz and Vern there, they really have some knowledge with regards to the importance of the Spring Mine Lake Sugarbush area. I know that was a huge issue when Polymet first started, was what about our cultural sites? Okay. What about our cultural sites? And, you know, it's like, we really need to make sure that they stay the way they are, but also, in a way, it's a way of, we need to educate people about our culture. And by doing these oral histories, that will educate people that we use these areas for our people. And it's a way for us to, it's not really saying we're okay with the mine. It's saying that we want to make sure that this area is protected and is also kind of put out there as to why we want it protected and the importance of it.
Yeah, we don't have to agree with the mine.
Mhm.
You know, there's obviously a lot of drawbacks to that. I think the importance for us right now is we have like photographic documentation of people from Tower, people from Net Lake hopping on the railroad, and taking it all the way to that around Aurora there, and actually using that site for sugarbush. So it's been a place that's been being used for the last 120 years. So we know that that's there, and I think we're trying to do all we can to protect that for right now. And from what it seems like, that was already, it was already kind of a mining site. And then the company that was originally there, their lease ended, and then they sold it to Polymet eventually. And Polymet is basically just gonna use wherever they were already putting their tailings, and kind of building that up, like around that area. And it's kind of like, it's the best of a worst situation, I guess. You know, we obviously don't want, the mining, it's gonna take a lot of resources away. It's gonna ruin a lot of the environment surrounding the mine, I think. But at the same time, they're trying to do as much as they can to minimize the effects of that. And,
I think the way I see it is with these mines, the ones that are already established, I'm not against those ones. They're already established, but they've got the new ones that are coming in. If you take a football field, it has 100 yards on it. A mine comes in, okay, that takes out 10 yards. So now we have 90 yards left. Another mine comes in, takes out another 10 yards. Now we have 80 yards left. Pretty soon our area's getting smaller and smaller. It has the potential to become contaminated, polluted. There goes our economy. We have a lot of people that come up there for fishing and hunting. And if something should happen with one of these mines where it has a disaster, do they have the money to clean it up? And how is Boys Fort, how is Grand Portage, how is Fond du Lac going to be compensated for this? Because that's not only our future, it's our kids' future.
Yep.
Because who knows, maybe they could become, a few years from now, and maybe in 20 years from now, the next tribal council that's on here has become so successful they want to, do whatever they want to do, and maybe they don't want to be part of the 1854 treaty agreement. Maybe they want to do what Fond du Lac is doing and exercise their rights more. But then what's going to be left? Something to think about.
yeah, so as far as I know, the only people that have ever brought up interest to using that sugar bush has been Vern himself, and that's kind of why we wanted him to be part of those interviews. And I think that is a good point to make, Shane, is that it kind of chips away at all all the resources that we have. And I think many of the people that are over 40 can remember Virginia being a town where they didn't have that kind of surrounding area with all the tailings.
Yeah.
Now we have 53 that goes kind of around the area, but all those big hills, I heard that those were never a thing before, and that's kind of where all the waste and everything goes for mining. It is a very finite source, so all the mines that are in place right now have a certain length of time that they're able to be used, and I think Polymet is for 25 years. So people that trying to make a living off of mining, you're gonna have a job for 25 years, then
And
you're
it's gone.
SOL, and you gotta find another job that's mining. So to think that all the mining jobs they're not permanent. It's to say like something that the tribal government would, if it's not federally funded, it's gonna be there in 50 years. The same job is gonna be there in 50 years, but for mining, it's only gonna be there for 25 years. And that's not a long time for having to deal with all of the cleanup of what's left after the mine. And for these companies, it seems like they don't really care to clean up. Because Polymet is owned by, I think, a company out of Chile.
Yep.
And so it's not even, the people that are affecting northern Minnesota don't even
Live
live,
here.
have probably never even been to northern Minnesota. So it's kind of it's about money, basically.
Yep.
And it's it's $1 billion a year operation. So if they need to spend $100 million to clean it up, it's a drop in the bucket for these guys for 25 years.
One of the other mines that we met with back at the 1854 Treaty Authority meeting about a month or so ago, it was a 25-year plan. And I said, once the 25 years is done, and then you have all your mine waste there, and it starts to leak and contaminate the ground and the water, are you guys going to come back and fix it? They couldn't answer that. And I said, or is it going to be left up to the Minnesota taxpayers to foot that bill to clean it up? couldn't answer that.
I don't know if they couldn't answer, but they didn't want to answer that, I think is
Yeah.
the real thing. I don't think anybody's, disagreeing with you on that. I think they're just doing whatever they can to, again, make money, and then not have to spend it to clean up their mess, basically.
So with regards to this MOU, it's basically to pay those elders an hourly rate and also travel, lodging, and mileage costs to go over to the Spring Mine Lake Sugar Bush area. I don't know if that's gonna be like how many times or,
So the elders, it's gonna be a one-time interview.
Okay.
They're gonna get paid for that.
okay,
And it's gonna be held, wherever's comfortable for them. So say if, Gene wanted to do it at the RTC, we can go up to the RTC.
Oh, okay.
and do it. If Vern wanted to do it at the Heritage Center, we could do it at the
Okay.
Heritage Center. The hourly rate and then the travel stuff, that'd be for the travel monitor.
okay, gotcha,
The travel back and forth every day.
Okay.
And that would be for 9 days.
okay. And it's from September 1, 2019 to June 1, 2020, so in case it snows tomorrow,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
or whatever, we have time to get it done. Oh, Corey. Corey, can you come up?
The only comment I'll make is that through all my years of different positions that I've had here, I think it's a good thing that the mines are reaching out and asking for that input, because if we don't do that, they're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
And I think I'd rather, for the band's point of view, is have that input and have that in place, because if you don't accept it, it's gonna happen anyway. You can see what's happening with the permitting already
Yep,
and the lawsuits that have been tossed out. So, it's good to have that input and be noted and that it's in there. And so, whether they accept it or do anything with it, that's gonna be ultimately up to them, but it is good to have that input. And so, I think it's a good thing for the band to do that.
yeah, in years past, with mining, the tribes weren't even consulted or even talked to. Really didn't even ask about cultural sites or anything. I think that tribes in the state and throughout the country have made it well known that, you should consult with tribes with regards to any areas, because we know our ancestors traveled broadly, widely, all over, from Canada down here, all over, across waterways. And so at least they're doing that, but the other part of that is the federal government, state government, they all need to adhere to the permitting process. They all need to make sure that everything is done appropriately instead of not letting them slide by. And environmentally, we want to make sure that our resources are protected. Those are our most precious resources we have, is because we need those resources for hunting and fishing. The mining company that Shane was talking about was Twin Metals, that we met with regards to the Boundary Waters area. And, that's something that isn't set yet, but we've also had discussions with them, and they know where we're coming from. But anyway, I just wanted to say that. Shane, did you have more?
No.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding for the Phase 2 intensive level survey of the Spring Mine Lake Sugar Bush? Thank you for those comments, Corey.
Move.
Moved by Travis, is there a second? Second by Chief, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed?
Opposed?
One opposed, Shane. Silent, motion carried. Thanks, Jalen. Good morning, Tara.
Morning. I didn't even realize I was up. Busy listening to Jalen. Okay, did you read over the memo and understand?
Yes,
Do you want me to read it? or
Sure.
Just for the,
yeah.
okay. I'm requesting your approval for the addition to the Conservation Committee above. Edward Vilburn to fill the vacancy through May 2022. Stan Day to fill Elder Advisory seat through his term. He's already a member,
Okay,
which would be May 2020. Bruce Schuster to fill the Elder Advisory seat through his term, which is May 2020. And then additionally, the committee would like the Tribal Council to appoint one person from the Bois Forte Tribal Council to fill as council rep. The Conservation Committee will be complete again after these assignments are on record.
okay. I know that the council talked it over, and we would like to recommend Travis Morrison as the tribal council rep for the Conservation Committee.
Okay.
So do we have a motion to approve the addition to the committee for Edward Villebrin, Stan Day, Bruce Schuster, and Travis Morrison to the Conservation Committee?
Move.
Oh,
Second.
moved by Chief, seconded by Shane. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Silent? Motion carried. Okay.
Thank you.
Good job.
Next, we have Nikki Irving to discuss, for discussion on the EMT AMR courses.
Good morning, Nikki.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so I have it under discussion, but maybe it was more of a request for approval.
Okay,
For fine.
that's fine.
I don't know if you guys know this, but our ambulance is hurting.
Yep.
We have 4 certified EMTs, 2 kind of live out of the area, and 1 certified EMR who lives in town. But they'll respond when they're in, at work in that league. So what I'm hoping to do is get the flyers out, let these, let the community know that these courses are being offered. The EMT course is in Hibbing, the EMR course is being offered in Cook, and they're kind of mostly online too, so maybe that will get some people interested.
Okay,
But if we get anybody interested in either course, if you guys will pay for it. And obviously if they don't finish it, maybe they might have to pay for it, but the big thing is just to get people certified on the ambulance right now.
and the courses are, the whole course is 1,555?
The
EMT course is
Yep.
1,555, and
Yeah,
then
if they're already in EMR, then it's like 13,
55.
yep.
Okay,
And then the EMR course is five something.
okay. Yeah,
And
the,
if we need
oh,
to, and, obviously if we can if they don't have, internet access all the time, they can come up to the government center to get that course done.
okay. I know that our ambulance service is extremely important, and that, with people moving and people retiring, that, it's hard, to get, we need EMTs and EMRs. Or if we don't, it may come to a point where we may have to just rely on the OR ambulance service for our area, because it's very difficult in scheduling wise, for these individuals. And we were talking as a council about, looking at some kind of way, we haven't really sat down to discuss it specifically, but just in general, that we need to, I guess, some type of incentive to get people to become emergency services personnel, whether it be fire, EMTs, EMRs, even for our emergency preparedness position. Emergencies happen, and we need to be prepared for them, so. Shane?
I think, going back to the email that I sent to Dan Nobridge, Says, good morning, our ambulance service is down to 3 EMTs. Is there money in the budget to pay for additional EMTs, EMT training, question mark. I think we should look at contracting with some EMTs to cover weekends and weekdays until we get some individuals trained in as EMTs, thoughts, suggestions. I think we should still pursue that because, it's gonna take a while for these people that go into the EMT training or become a first responder. It's gonna take a little while to get them certified. We're still gonna need some additional EMTs to cover the area because if we're down to like 3 or 2, that's pretty thin. And then on the flip side, because we've been going through this for the past few years, is that, come tax time, myself included, I've taken a big hit because, I get paid for volunteering on the ambulance service on weekends and stuff, and I get a little stipend. Well, I'd like to have, taxes taken out of it so that when tax time comes, I'm not taking a big hit. And I think that's why some of our people have, stopped doing it in the past because they're taking a big hit tax time. So I think we should look at that as well.
One answer, or do you want me to?
I can,
Go ahead.
I know Kim and I have been discussing that, and what we were thinking is maybe doing a payroll on our off, RTC payroll dates to try and help that. with
Okay.
our ambulance service.
Okay. Maybe what we could do too is sit down with Dan, yourself, the ambulance personnel or whatever to brainstorm on ways we can get, and maybe retired personnel. I know Dave and Doris and Julie Whiteman, and there was quite a few individuals on our ambulance crew, and Marcella, ways that we can entice or make this work. We've got a lot of young people out there that would be really good training for them to have, and then a benefit for our community. So maybe we can set that up, and we'll mention it at our community meeting we're gonna have in Net Lake when we have it.
Dan, Nikki, and I, and Shanna, is it this Friday, we have a meeting, and Sue, have a meeting to start.
Start that process, that conversation okay, good. When is that meeting?
Friday.
I know, but what time? Okay, thank you.
I know that how hard it is to, get people to take the course and go through it. It's a long course, for one thing, and then it takes a big commitment to do it. And I know that when I first got on the ambulance, Doris and Julie were already on the ambulance, and there were just us three for about 3-4 years almost before we start getting other people stepping up and joining the service. And when we got that extra help, that really made a difference. Made a difference on us because it was. And at the time, we were averaging anywhere between 70 and 120 runs a year, and that's a lot of runs for our small service area. But I know that it takes a big commitment, and we got to recruit younger people to get involved with the service at Boys Fort, because a lot of our family members, we come from big families, and we just need people to step up and be there. And I know that Doris was the ambulance director for a number of years, and I know Doris is here now, but I maybe have a question for her. But at one time, Doris, did we take some of the money at one time out of the education fund to pay for training for EMTs at one time? Do you remember, or did we do that, or didn't we? Yeah, that's what I thought. But like I said, maybe that's another. Maybe we could include Billy in there to be on that meeting too, and see about what kind of funds that we could get out of that program.
I think
Well,
the
like I
big
said,
thing
I
right
know
now, though,
that,
too, is hopefully we get people interested,
Mhm.
you know, wanting to do it.
And I know that, both Doris and Julie were on for over 30 years. And, you know, like I said, it takes a big commitment, and, my wife Teresa was on for 27 years. And, so again, we have to have people that want to step up and help our community. And the big payoff has always been that, in my life, when I was on the service, was, we helped people that were in need, that were hurt at the time, whatever need they may had, and we're a big part of that process of seeing those people, still walking around on the reservation today. So, and I know that there was sometimes that there was people that didn't make it, but, we give our best effort to do everything we can to try make it for that person that needed that help. But again, it just takes a lot of, just some people that step forward and be there. Maybe it's something that we could start looking at some of our young kids that are in their early 20s to step forward and be part of the service. But again, maybe that's like Kathy said, maybe that's something we can bring up at the staff meeting. So.
Yeah, so it sounds like we'll use some education dollars for the band members, and if there's there's always been some resident non-band members. And so we could probably look at putting some money aside. We're gonna be going through our budgeting process for the tribal government. But yeah, we need to do something.
And I also remember too that we had those EMTs that were part of Net Lake, and after a while they moved off the reservation, and I know upstairs above the ambulance there was a room that we had. There was a bed and a TV and
Oh, yeah.
some other items up there for them to when they were on call, where they could come up and stay for the 32-hour shift for the weekend, and so they could kind of be in the area, so they didn't have to drive so far out to respond. So, but again, maybe that's something we could look at again.
Yep.
Is if we do have people that are in the Ore area or Bear River area or whatever, maybe we could have some people that do come, that step forward to help to kind of renovate that again or whatever, and have that available for them to, a place for them to stay for the weekend and respond.
Good
That's
idea,
another-
Dave. Yep, I
another
remember
idea,
that.
so.
Good idea. Jane?
Or even just during the day, like, I'm pretty sure there are quite a few employees that are
Okay.
probably certified, and if they could, get out.
Okay. Well, it sounds like we're gonna be very supportive of this. So I would say between education and tribal government that we would be able to assist with these costs for anybody that's interested in. So I would go ahead and, are you guys okay with, do you wanna do a motion to approve using scholarship? Is that okay, Bill? Using scholarship and tribal government funding for, just so we can get it started now, and then we'll sit down and meet if there's any interest.
Yep, I'll send it out right away, and
Okay.
hopefully we'll get some interest.
Okay, do we have a motion to that effect then?
Move.
Moved by Shane. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Chief. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Silent? Motion carried. Posted today. Thank you.
The next item we have is Dan with the contract for an interim ambulance director.
Yep, we got it.
Okay, it was added today.
Good morning, Dan.
Good morning. Since the resignation of Mike Connor from the ambulance director position, I'm just asking to appoint Nikki Irving as interim ambulance director, and we'll post the position, and so I think the interim contract was up to 90 days.
Okay. And you'll be posting the ambulance director position was actually under the emergency preparedness person also?
It was.
It used to be, okay.
It was the same person that happened to do it, but it was
Two different, he was paid as emergency preparedness, but he was also contracted as,
Yep.
previous to that, as the ambulance director.
It
Okay,
had to be done outside
got it.
regular working hours.
And this
That
comes out of the
emergency
health,
prepar-
pardon,
emergency
Dan?
Preparedness position will be posted separately.
Okay. This comes out of the IHS, your budget,
Third party.
third-party revenue? Okay,
Sure.
okay. Do we have a motion to approve the interim appointment of Nikki Irving to the, and the contract for her for ambulance director? Moved by Chief, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Shane, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Nikki.
Next, we have Corey Strong with clarification for holidays for the upcoming year.
Good morning, Cor.
So we have a list of holidays that are in the personnel policy. The one that I really need clarification on is the Native American Heritage Day. In the policy, it says the fourth Friday in November. Upcoming, the calendar, for some reason this year has 5 Fridays in November. And so that Native American Heritage Day, the language used to state that it was the day after Thanksgiving. They struck out the day after Thanksgiving and put in the fourth Friday. And in the holidays schedule, Thanksgiving says the fourth Thursday in November, which typically happens. And like I said, this year, the Thanksgiving day is the fourth Thursday of the month, but the day after Thanksgiving that we normally take off is the American Heritage Day. That was established under the Obama administration for recognizing that day as Native American Heritage Day. So anyway, I just need clarification, or motion to go ahead and send out an email that to all staff and stuff that the day will be taken off will be the day after Thanksgiving, which would be November 29th, I do believe. And I don't think we need to change the policy because most
Okay.
of the years it's
Always that,
aligns
Okay.
properly. It's just kind of a weird month this year, coming up in November.
okay.
So so that'll give us the 27th, 28th, and 29th off?
Hold on. Oh. The only thing it says there's the fourth Thursday, which is the 28th of November, the fourth Friday, which typically happens, but this year it's gonna be the fifth Friday, which is the 29th, so it's just the 28th and 29th. That's what's listed in our policy.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve that request from Corey, the HR director, to send a memo out just saying it's going to be, due to the calendar schedule, it will be now the fifth Friday in November for 2019 as Native American Heritage Day. Just a one time. Moved by Chief. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Travis. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, silent, motion carried.
Yeah, I had a lot of I had questions from health.
Health, the
They're like,
clinic
"Hey,"
staff.
they're like, the 22nd's the fourth Friday, or the fourth
Yeah.
Friday, we're booking that off as a holiday, and I'm like, no, I'm like, and then we actually scheduled our health renewal days for the healthcare,
Oh, okay.
for Fortune Bay and the tribal government, and Wicco was like, hey, that fourth Friday is a holiday, and I'm like, no, it's not, I'm like, so. We just
Well,
need
we're glad
clarification.
people are paying attention.
Yeah.
Good job. Thank you, Cor.
Next, we have Pam Hughes.
Nice boots.
I think, before we get going with Pam Hughes, I'd just like to say on these holidays, you know, we're celebrating other people's days, and like Labor Day and all that. We should also look at maybe, creating our own, you know, Boys Fort Day as a holiday. Just a thought.
Okay, thank you, Shane. Good morning, Pam.
Good morning. So the first one is to sole source for 10 iPads for the Healing Courts Wellness Program, which will be used for counselors, treatment coordinators, our mental health therapists that we have. So it's for staff, and it, the reason why we would like to get them is for EPIC reasons. So
Oh.
like if some of us have to go into a home or something, we have them with us.
Okay. Did you talk to IT about this? They're okay with the apples?
Yeah, they're the ones that gave me the,
Oh, good.
quote.
Okay.
And so there might be just a little change in it because apparently the iPads have upgraded or something.
Oh, they
but it's
upgrade
not
all
a-
the time.
Yeah.
You know, regarding that compliance training that I went through at the with the health department, one of the questions I have is that since you're gonna be taking like the iPad into the home with you, you're not gonna be sending anything over the internet, right? You're just gonna keep it on the iPad until you get into the office, then upload whatever you need to do? Okay.
Well, they will have to have that internet access to enter into EPIC.
Mm-hmm.
So I can check with IT on that because I thought there was a way that
I think
we could still connect through our own server.
I think there is, but I'm just saying that, you know, I know that if you're gonna send something over the internet, that it has to be, I think it has to be encrypted, if I can remember that correctly from that compliance program.
And I believe IT does
Yeah.
encrypt everything.
Okay.
Hey, Sue, on the, like the ones that the nurses use and stuff, so when they need to access internet out of the office, how
Sue.
do they do that?
We currently use, I don't know if it's on.
It's on.
We currently use iPads also. We use them for when we go to take them to clinics and everything. And we have to be able to access them, to EPIC. Community Health also uses them. Randy sets them up so that they are totally secure, so no one else can get into EPIC or whatever program that you use. So it's key coded, he has walls on it, everything, so it's totally safe. So even if Shane went and grabbed it, first of all, you would have to have a username and password to get logged into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you got that, you can get to the internet, but that does not mean you're going to get into EPIC or anything else.
Okay, good, good.
Good. Any other thank you, Sue. Any other questions for Pam regarding the sole source request to purchase 10 iPads? You do have money in the budget for this, correct? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the sole source request?
Move.
Made by Chief, is there a second?
Second,
Second by Shane, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, silent, motion carried.
So the next one is sole source for Fortune Bay for our well variety fees, and I'll apologize for this. I had a sobriety fair a couple weeks beforehand, and for some reason, I just thought it was this, and so when I came to give it to Fortune Bay, they reminded me that it was from past event.
Oh,
So I made the mistake on this by not completely reading, so that's why I'm asking.
Here today?
Yeah.
okay. Do we have a motion to approve the sole source request for the Wellbriety Feast at Fortune Bay?
and this one already took place already.
Yes.
Okay. I'll move.
Moved by Shane, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Chief, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, silent, motion carried.
The next one is the grant contract for our Boys Fort Prevention Program. We have two prevention programs, one in International Falls and one in Boys Fort. There was a delay at DHS with getting contracts out, so we've already approved the I-Falls one. This one is for Boys Fort.
Is this one here, no, who works under this program?
Terry Strong.
Okay. No, the one at the falls, is that, are they full-time?
No,
No?
25 hours a week,
That's it? And then Boy Sport would be
25 hours a week.
25 hours a week, okay. Is
And
there,
this is with the kid, I'm sorry, Shane, go ahead.
is there a chance for them to be increased?
No, not through this grant.
No?
And the reason being, is because we get that $130,064, a year.
Mm-hmm,
So International Falls grant is a grant we have to compete for,
okay,
because that's federal funds.
okay.
They're considered urban programs. Boys Fort is a reservation program.
Mhm.
We don't compete for that. We just have to do new work plans and stuff
Mhm.
every 5 years. And so this pot of money has been this amount for probably since the late 1990s.
Okay.
You know, it was when I came.
Mm-hmm,
The difference, when this grant, the initial grant of this had two parts of it. It had prevention and intervention. So the intervention part, they did relapse
okay,
in our treatment program. But when I came and went down and met with the state, we decided to pull that part out of the grant because we could bill for relapse.
Mhm.
But if we had it in this contract.
We couldn't bill.
Because it would be double dipping.
okay,
So that amount has never changed, but yet salaries have gone up, rent has gone up. And if I were to take and put Terry full-time,
mm-hmm,
what would happen is we're gonna be top-heavy
Mhm.
on the salary and fringe, and there's gonna be nothing
Yeah,
down
okay.
for direct services.
okay, yep, got it. Thank you.
Pam, is there a way that maybe we can do something with the state with regards to this program, since there's been no increases? I mean, that seems to be kind of consistent with all budgets that we get either from the federal or state government. And I think the elders program is even one of them too, is that the funding levels stay the same, but we've got inflation, we've got increases, we've got increased costs and fringe benefits, and it still stays the same.
I did ask for more on this.
I'm sure
but
you did.
I knew that I wouldn't, but it didn't hurt to ask. So I did submit a higher budget
Okay.
on this, but, I had to redo the budget and stuff because they will not go over the 130. But I agree with you. Those are things we have brought up at our American Indian Advisory Council. So there's also another part to it too. So like the International Falls program, I think we got roughly about we used to get about the same amount. I think we got 135. And then when we redid the contract for the last 5 years, we were awarded 157.
Mm,
And when they look at our grants, they also look at performance.
okay,
And so, we did get that extra money in the last contract period. This year, when I submitted it, we did get, I wanna say, an extra maybe $7,000. But when they're reviewing them, they look on performance. And so
Okay.
performance parts of it, there are, mid-year and year-end reports.
Mhm.
We have, evaluations that we hire outside
Oh, okay.
contractors. And then we also have an ESO database system that information has to be entered in, so they look at those.
okay,
In reviewing, we have had some problems with the ESO
oh, okay,
with this contract. So
Okay.
that's also taken into effect because if those things aren't submitted, our funding's withheld.
oh,
And currently, it's being withheld on this contract. We have not been reimbursed for 6 months.
is that on the state side?
No,
That's our side,
yes. But, that should be taken care of Friday.
okay. But this position is basically during the school year, correct?
Correct.
And I know that from a parent standpoint and community member standpoint, our kids need prevention also in the summer. You know, that's when they have free time. So we'll see what we can do at the state level too, to look at that, because it's not just during the school year. Okay. Okay, do we have a motion to approve the grant contract for the Boys Fort Prevention Program? Moved by Chief, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Travis, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried.
Thank you.
Kath, I just had a question
Oh,
for Pam.
hang on, Pam?
Pam, on page 2 of that, that, it says State of Minnesota Department of Human Services Tribal National Grant Contract. And it says tribal duties, and, on A there, it says, provide prevention education for substance use disorder for 25 Native American male and female youth, grades K through 8. Is that don't include the, kids that are in high school from 9th to 12th, or?
No.
No?
The curriculum is more geared towards younger,
Okay.
the younger kids.
Then same way on D there, where it says, company two, a total of 4 youth, 2 from Net Lake, 2 from Vermilion, to, attend the Native American program, sharing conference at Fond du Lac Community College, and to the drug gang summit held in Red Lake. What are the age differences for those ones? Is
So on that one, the state has made a mistake on that. That was in our previous contracts. This year, how we have it is it's either 4 or 5 from each side of the reservation.
Oh, okay.
To attend, the language immersion camps
Oh.
that
Oh.
we have here.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. That answers that.
Thank you, Pam.
Yep. Can I just say one more thing real quickly?
Sure.
Kind of has to do with the MAT program meeting that we had. So when Melissa was here this morning, her and I were talking, and she was asking how it was going with the U of M extension program that's coming up and providing technical
Yes.
assistance for us. So I let her know that it's going very well and that we appreciate them coming. So Melissa has been hired to do some work for them to kind of evaluate. But she's also, as part of John Hopkins,
Yep.
they are going to be doing, it's called a capture recapture. And what it is, it's a actual, I don't wanna say a survey, but when we were speaking last night and we were asking of like numbers of people using or what kinds of drugs, this will do that.
Okay.
So she did ask me, because she asked me how it was going up here with opiates and what are we seeing more of. And so anyways, while we were talking, and so she asked me if we would be interested in partnering with John Hopkins to do this for our reservation.
Yes.
And so I told her that we would. She's gonna send the information, so when it all gets ready to be rolled out, we'll come back to the council for
Okay.
approval.
Sounds very
Because
good.
from that, they'll be able to identify percentages of people who are using at risk, and then also what their drug of choice is. So
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for that information.
Okay, next item is, Melissa isn't here, but it's a, correction to a sole source contract.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
When people present when they present, stuff for sole source, they have a price that they're in there.
Yeah.
So, in this case, for the, mental health conference, you had to increase the cost to Fortune Bay because I believe more people attended because it
Yes.
was the food cost.
Yes.
So, from an auditing standpoint, we need to approve, it increased by $1,328, so you have to approve the additional increase.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the additional cost of $1,328 for the American Indian Mental Health Advisory Conference at Fortune Bay due to increased attendees at the conference for food costs?
Move.
Moved by Travis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Chief. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Silent? Motion carried.
And then the same situation applies for, Billy, but she has her information.
Oh, okay. Good morning, Bill. Thank you.
So the first page was previously approved back in June.
Okay.
For sole source, and it was only for 10 participants. And after discussions with 2142 and 707, we increased that up to 12 to allow their education, Indian education staff to attend.
Oh, okay. And there's funding to cover the additional two?
Yes, there is.
Okay, well, that's good.
So the original amount was 10 participants, 6,952. With 12,
Oh.
it increased by, I think it was $210.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the sole source request, amending the, well, not amending, but adding 2 participants to the University of Minnesota training, which is expanding the circle training and materials for 12 people, November 12th through 13th, in the amount of $7,162. Moved by Chief, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Dave, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
The next item is, something Jenna left for, and so I'm not 100%
Okay.
focused on this. It was a request for, and maybe Tara might know a little bit more about this, the request for, a map from, with Coochin County, but Mark Anderson sent you all an email, explaining it, so I'm trying to see where the original request is. What it is.
It says something about the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources is creating a recreation map of the Coochin State Forest.
Yeah. And
Oh.
So Mark's response, I'm just gonna read his
Yep,
email.
go ahead.
Says the Coochin State Forest was established by Minnesota legislature in 1943, and the
Oh.
law creating it would provide that it would consist of all lands and waters now owned by the state or hereinafter acquired by the state within the area in the townships and sections described. The 1943 Act did not include any lands within the reservation, within the Net Lake Reservation. In 1963, the legislature amended the forest boundaries by adding certain lands, but the statute made it clear that the described lands were outside the old Net Lake Indian Reservation boundary, or either west or south of that boundary. The bottom line is the reason that the state's forest map is blank when it comes to the reservation is simply because Coochin State Forest does not include the reservation. And so then I have attached the 1943 and 1963 session laws for your files. I don't see any reason to participate in this project.
Okay.
This is what we had emailed you guys.
So, we want to put our land on the map as a blank or stay off, or what?
Because it says, because reading through Jenna's emails that she put on in here, it says, "Hello, Jenna, I spoke with Lansdale and Victoria suggested I contact you. The Minnesota Department of Natural Resources is creating a recreation map of the Coochin State Forest. The purpose is to show recreationists what is available in the area for public use, along with showing what's off limits for public use." But according to the statutes, it's not part of the Coochin State Forest, the way I read it. From what Mark said.
I'm reading the rest of the email. That's what we're looking for?
Yeah, do we wanna do the shape files to give to the DNR?
I say no. Corey, can you come up? No, can you come, Corey, can you come talk on the, I don't know what this is. Sarah, do you want to come up? Huh? No. No.
No, I've already responded to this. Did you see my email in there?
I don't know. I don't know.
I strongly recommend that you don't share any shape files with the DNR. Thank you.
Okay. We only have certain emails here and stuff, so we don't even have marks in our packet, so.
No, because Mark sent it yesterday.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah,
And then my email was to the council, if that's something that you wanted to do, then go ahead and direct me to do that.
But right now-
That isn't something that I would willingly
Be
do if they
comfortable
come
in
and
doing.
ask me.
Okay. Corey, you have a comment?
One thing I'd mention is that, we do have tracts of land that are outside the reservation,
Oh,
and I'd follow up with that first, because there are tracts that are, in trust outside of the reservation, and we'd have to look at the state forest map and go back and research those, because there are public domain allotments that are outside of the reservation. So, I would cross-reference that, that's all I'd
Okay.
say. And those you probably share, because that would be BIA.
BIA,
maps.
federal maps.
They're already there, but it's outside the reservation boundaries. Yeah. But yeah,
Okay.
it's trust lands.
It's still trust land, but it's
Yeah.
outside the reservation boundary. So we should include those two then, right?
Well, if there's any, it's in that, state forest,
Okay,
but we do know there are lands outside the reservation.
okay. Right, Tara?
Yeah, so, yeah, I wouldn't share, if you wanna create the the border,
Yeah.
that's about as far as you should go.
Okay.
So then you're voicing yourself, nope, you cannot come this way, instead of saying nothing.
Oh, yeah, no.
So I think that would be something that you could do, if you wanna cooperate.
I thought we did this last time. Or didn't we discuss this before? I thought we did. Maybe not in a,
They didn't
maybe not in a,
formally ask for this,
Okay.
for our shape files.
okay. What do you guys wanna do? Deny the shape files?
I'd just like to say table it until we get more information and talk about this more.
Okay.
Because they're just kind of getting bits and pieces here and there. and
Okay.
It's kind of hard to make a decision if you don't
Do
have
you want
all
a
the
motion?
information.
there isn't anything from Tara and stuff that,
Okay,
general act or anything.
Well,
okay. Go ahead, Tara.
I'm just gonna read my reply. I'm not sure we have those files. We could cooperate if council wants us to. Typically, we do not send outside agencies our files. I think we could start with creating a divide or a line labeled off limits. And not sure if Mark, and that's when I asked if Mark
Oh,
should
okay.
weigh in on this. And then the thing is, the outside recreationalists are always wanting to move closer and closer to our borders and attempt to pick away at our accesses. So really, it depends on how much time Randy or our GIS specialist can devote time to doing this. We can provide support staff, meaning Boys Fort DNR, if council wants us to pursue.
Okay. Thank you, Tara.
But no.
Okay, we got it. Thank you. Do you wanna do a motion to table?
I'll just like to make a motion to table it for now.
Shane wants to do a motion to table so we can get everybody together and figure this out. Do we have a second?
Second.
We'll do it before the next meeting to get it done with. Seconded by Chief. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Silent? Motion carried. We'll set up a meeting on that, Tara. No,
Then the last thing was, there was,
oh, streaming for the community meeting?
yep, and there was, an email saying that Jenna said she would ask the council second, so.
Oh, okay. Do we have a motion? Do you guys want to live stream the community meetings?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve live streaming the community meetings? Made by Chief, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Shane, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried. Before we adjourn, I just want tribal members to know that the Code of Ethics is now on the Boys Fort website. It's been drafted by the tribal attorney and it's out for public comment, which means if you have comments on it, please forward those, I believe, to Wicco or Louise. And we will also be having it posted for public comment in Nett Lake and Vermilion. So this is the revised Boys Fort Code of Ethics. Just, oh yeah, we're not gonna take action on it until we hear from the people, so. Bill? Yes, we can post it at the urban offices as well. There were a few errors we had to clean up on it, and it got done late yesterday afternoon. And so we would encourage tribal members to provide us input and move forward with updating that code. So with that, I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
Move.
Moved by Shane, is there a second? Second by Chief, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried. Thank you, everybody, for coming.